My name's Tony Johnson, I'm 63, I'm a bit old for this game but I enjoy it so I come. I've got a guest ticket on Acton Burnell in Shropshire with Jason, thanks to Jason Ingley, and I've had a £30 common carp, which is my first £30 common. It rates very highly actually, a £30 common. My previous best was 22. I've had £30 mirrors but it's not common, and the fish was absolutely immaculate, so I'm chuffed to bits with it. Yeah, probably not as high as a bream or as a barbel, but it's there or thereabouts. The place itself is absolutely gorgeous. If I hadn't caught, I wouldn't have been overly bothered. The atmosphere, and I lay in my bed last night and all I could hear was bird song. It was brilliant. I'm impressed with how the fisheries run. There's only 7 of us on here. It's about 9-10 acres, so you're not in each other's footprints. It's brilliant. If you want to see somebody, you can have a walk up the bank and go and see somebody. It's really well run fishing. Jason's had, I think it's four out 5 30s now. Craig's had 2 40s and a 30. Young Lee just down the bank from me's had a 43. It's just fished its head off. To be honest, this is the first bit of carping I've done for a long time. So I asked 1 or 2 of the lads who fish here, and they said the multi-rig's a good little rig. So I've tied a few of them up and I've been fishing with them on pop-ups. It's Scott Rogers' bait. It takes everywhere apart from what Jason says, so it's a good bait, and obviously it is. I've been fishing fairly well out, and today I decided, I had a couple of liners in the night, and I'm also backleading, which means the liners were very close in. So I've decided today I would fish close in, 1 to the left and 1 to the right in front of willow trees, and that's how I've had the fish. Looked on the internet and the photos look good on there, but to actually be here it's just a different world. It's fantastic. Got in my bivvy last night, sat there 10:30ish, birds were singing, and it was completely quiet. It was brilliant. You could hear a pin drop, to be honest. Oh, right, I'm going to bring... Oh, bloody hell.
So that's a feeder on there then.
I think he's slowing down a bit.
Did it on double maggot to 16, Ty?
Yeah.
I bet that waggler did half could rip off, didn't it?
I tell you what, this is getting painful.
You wait till you have to lift it up for the photos.
Come on, baby, this time. Come on. You see it, Lee?
No, can't even see the fish yet. It's still well down.
Right in front of you.
I know it is, yeah, but I don't want to scoop for it.
Oh, he's just under the surface.
Yeah.
Can't see it. You got it, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! Yes! Well done, Tone. Okay. I thought your rod were going to break.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, mate,
you got that one?
Look at the beauty.
It's wrapped up. So.
Oh, mate.
Okay.
You want a bucket of water? Yeah, I've got a bucket, mate. All sorted.
Is it a
Hey, I don't know.
Well, 31's my best. I think it's right.
That's a nice fish. It's going to be close, mate.
There.
A second. That's a beautiful fish, mate.
Oh,
you know what?
Bang on
£30, mate. Well done.
Brilliant.
£30. Mate, that is an absolute stunner. Innit? Scale perfect at it, Tom.
Come here. Right, hold yourself there. Right, let's have a look at you. That's better, behave yourself. Oh, yes. £30 common, Steve. Right close in, just next to a willow bush on a Scott Rogers bait, chuffed to bits, mate. I've loved it here. This is the icing on the cake. It's a Scott Rogers boilie that Jason supplied to me at pop up. I nearly ate it myself, but I'm glad I didn't. Okay, lads.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nice one, mate.
Oh. Nearly got a wet bum now. Okay. Cheers, lads. Go on, off you go. Get away. You little beauty.
Well done, mate. Well, yesterday, I saw fish showing probably 80-90 yards out in front of me. And it's the first time this week that I've actually seen fish in front of me. I've got fluorocarbon lines on at the time, and I knew damn well I wouldn't be able to put a rig over there to them. So I ended up bringing the rods in, or one of the rods, changing the spool on the reel to a sinking casting line. Put a rig out there, put some bait around it, and within an hour it ripped off. The bait I caught the fish on was a all seasons mixed popple, natural colour, with a throwing stick. Just scattered a few baits around the area I saw the fish at, and it worked. I saw 3 good shows, head and shouldering out in an area in front of me. It's deep silt out there, I know that. So I use long links, a soft link, tongue skin, and a short hinge rig with a crank choddy, and it works. It was tough. The first night I had a fish and I was buzzing, 2:30 in the morning, first night. You know, it was great really to have a fish that early, and I was full of confidence. But then I couldn't see where the next bite was coming from. There was just nothing in front of me. Most of the fish were coming from down one end of the lake, and I was struggling a bit. So I decided after 3 days to move swim, and it didn't make any sense really to move away from the fish. But I think what it did was rest the swim. I took the lines out 24 hours, and I knew there'd be bait still out there from what I put in before, and I've just fished basically the same areas, but apart from the one fish I've had. So whether the fish will move in late or not, I don't know.
Okay, this is a lump, mate. I'm going to be eating this just when it gets dark, ain't it?
I think it's in front of you, pal.
Do you want to go down my swim and net it?
I think you might have to in a minute.
I seen that line lifting out of the water before the buzzer went off. That's when I said to Steve.
I was going to say, that was a bit of sixth sense, that was, mate.
It's all I ever watch. I never watch anything else but the tips of the rods and the line.
Just don't lose it.
I'm not worried about a wet, mate.
Win.
You're in the net. You're in the net.
Jay.
Mate, I wish I could catch a mirror. Bigger.
Mate, that's beautiful. Look at that. I'll tell you what, I'm on 30 now.
Oh, mate. That's scale perfect, isn't it?
It's mint. That is a beautiful fish. 28.2.
28 dear mate. Right, it's a 28 pound 2 common. Caught on a all seasons pop up. Fished at about 80 yards. Second fish of the trip, and another common. 4 painful days for another bite, and I've managed to get one. But there's been fish showing, and it's the first time I've seen fish show in front of me, and I just stuck a rig on it, mate. What a stunning fish.
It is, isn't it?
Mint. And I'm over the moon, mate.
Right, my name's Lee Evans. We're over at Acton Burnell on open access week. Off to quite a good start so far. There's been quite a few fish out around the lake. I did quite well in the draw, came out second, so I ended up on a peg that I wanted to get on. So far things have been good. Seen quite a few fish moving about since we've been here, but I hadn't had any fish up until yesterday evening. I've been letting the swim rest for quite a lot of the day because I didn't see anything about early morning, but as soon as I come to cast the rods out, there's quite a few fish moving in and out of the area. Within probably an hour of chucking my rod out on a spot that I've been told produces quite a lot of fish, had quite a savage take, had a couple of bleeps initially, and then it kind of dropped back, so I thought it was a rud, and then the next minute it just absolutely tore off. Tried my best to deal with it, and it was just an absolute nightmare. Bolted right underneath the trees or down the dam wall, but when I ended up finally getting it in the net, it was a 43-pound mirror. Absolutely over the moon with it. It's beat my PB by almost 10 pounds, so I was absolutely ecstatic yesterday. Well, fishing here last year gave us a bit of an idea of, well, a bit better idea of how to approach the lake. Last year I kind of brought everything with us just to cover all eventualities. Buckets and buckets of bait, rods for this, rods for that, absolutely everything. But this time round I've kind of taken on a boilie only approach. Obviously the key bait solutions, all seasons mix, works wonders in here as it did do last year, so I've come well stocked up with that. General approach to the water this time round, as usual, try and find a few spots if you can, even better if you can find some fish. Had a bit of a lead about in the swim, find some nice areas, good clean areas with good drop on. Started off quite lightly with the bait, probably putting between 30 and 50 baits around each rod. I've tried bottom baits and wafters since I've been here, but not really had much luck on them, and when we're fishing up towards the dam wall, it's quite choddy over there, so I thought I'd change my approach slightly and maybe try a hinge stiff rig or a multi-rig. So I switched over onto the multi-rig, and it's paid off. My rigs are coming back clean. Fishing the all seasons bait natural coloured pop-ups. We've tried different colours since I've been here. I did have a take on the second day on a pink pop-up, but nothing came of that. So I mean, as far as I'm aware, I think all the fish so far have come on the natural coloured all seasons. Well, the weather conditions when we got here, keeping a general eye on the weather. It's been really warm since we've been here. I know things have changed quite a lot today. The pressure was quite high when we got here, probably 1,023, 1,025, something like that, which is not the best conditions really. But we got here, and I chose to fish this peg because I knew the weather was changing a bit later on in the week. So I thought I can kind of set my stall, get a bit of bait in, and hopefully later on they'll come to me. And today the weather's changed quite a bit. The pressure's dropped down. It's about 1,005 at the minute. The temperature's dropped slightly. It's gone really overcast. The wind's changed direction. So fingers crossed, everything's in my favour at the minute.
Right, my name's Paul. Big mates with Jason over there. First time on Acton. Really impressed with the place. Had a good walk round at the start. Got a little bit unlucky with the draw, to be fair. Come out number 5 out of 6. Not knowing the area. Picked a peg called the Steps. Did a couple of nights in there. Not a lot happening there, so I moved to this swim here, Sandy Point. Seems like a lot of the fish are down the bottom end. A lot of the lads are having a fair bit of joy down there, but I'm chucking up to her. There's a bit of a dam wall, and the trees come out quite a way, so I'm chucking over, going down there, wading out, using the key bait solutions, ASM. Really good bait, really impressed with it. It's done some fish this week. Had my first fish last night, 37.8, 37.5. Really impressed. PB for myself, to be fair. It seems a bit of a night time swim, evenings, first thing in the morning, so I'll get the rods out in a bit, do the same, hope for the same tonight. But yeah, happy days. Really enjoy the place. Company's great, bait's great. Using a bit of a multi-rig down here. Not knowing the water, I was told it was weed free, snag free, so it's a case of when you get one, there's no reason to bully them. Just you know, play the fish, play it soft, keep the tension on. If it wants to go, it goes. you know, and anyway I let it go, and next minute solid in a snag. So kept the strain on. I went out in my tracksuit and trainers like you would down here, because there's some big fish in here. So chuck the waders on, and I had to walk around into a bay, just get some angles with it, and got a bit of a different angle on it, and it come out and shot out into the middle of the lake. Happy days. But yeah, knowing what's in here, and my PB before was 33. You know, on the end it was a shaky moment. The knees were going to be fair. Like, I didn't want to lose it, but did what was right, and it come out, shot out into the middle, and then good as gold. You know, all I'm doing is casting out, and I'm putting probably a kilo of bait around each rod, and yeah, it's been tricky. There's been times when it's been hard, but I don't think you can go onto a new water with a tactic, because I don't know the water. I don't know what is a going tactic. Craig's tactic is different to Jason's tactic. So, you know, Jason's spreading his bait, putting a little bit out. Craig's putting quite a lot of bait out. So you've just got to fish with what you're comfortable with, and what you're confident with, and that's all I'm doing. And you know, I've not changed anything too much, because I'm happy with how I'm fishing it. So it's just a case of hoping that the fish turn up, and luckily yesterday they turned up and proved to me that the rigs I'm using and where I'm positioning the baits and how I'm fishing's right.
That's it, she's in the net, mate. Well done.
Cheers, Lee. Cheers for your help.
No worries, mate. Right, to your right.
Nice one, Bert.
Nice fish. Good fucking whip to it.
Fucking little back hook, really.
Do your zips up either side. Now that sounds daft, but that one of mine back bolted out yesterday. The other day, sorry.
You do a PB for me, that one.
Yeah, Jason said you did 34.
34, yeah.
Oh.
37.
37 and a half?
37 and a half. Thought I might have gone a bit more than that, to be honest. $37 and a half mirror, Acton Burnell. Multi-rig, ASM bait, shaking, PB for me. Yeah, five long days struggling. Got one under the far margin, waded it in. Happy days, she ripped off. Happy days. She's got spawn in her, mate. Yeah, got it off Scott. Seems to work everywhere I go, to be honest. Full confidence in it. Probably put a good 2 or 3 kilos out for this one. But to be honest, it's killing the lake this week. It's yeah, nice bait. What a beautiful creature. I'm happy if I don't have anything else now. Get amongst them now. I think they might have pushed up here a little bit with the weather today.
Hello, my name is Jason Ingley and I'm fishing on Acton Burnell in Shropshire. 3rd week of May, open access. I've had my lucky pants on all week, so I've just got in the water, washed my lucky pants, washed my and now my pants are dry. I've just put them back on, so hopefully I might get a 40. I picked the African. Craig came out 4th, he went in the first bay. I chose to put a rod down the bay because there was a couple of fish showing down there, so I got to walk down, halfway down, chucked a bait out over to the far side, handful of baits around it, got myself all set up, and that had only been out about 3 hours, and I had a £32 mirror. It was warming up quite a bit on Monday, and then dinner time came round, and I had a 38.6 from down the bottom, on my spot down at the bottom there, and then 38.13. So I had 2 38s that day. So that was Monday. Tuesday, which was yesterday, I had a bite about 10:30, and I had a 35.5. That had only been out about another half an hour. That rod went off again and had a 38.14. Came back from the shop, we rested the swim for a bit. I put bait in before I left, and then when I came back, put the rods back out, put a bit of bait out as well. And yesterday evening I had a £18.6 mirror. Well, I think it's one of the old original Shadwell Lake fish. So anyway, I put that one back, put the rod back out, put some bait around it, and next minute my left hand rod, which hasn't done nothing all week, that took off, and I had the Car Crash Common, which was my PB Common before, and I think I'd had it at 31.12 3 years ago, the first season I fished on here as a syndicate member, and I had that at 36.4, so I was pleased with that, you know. And then this morning, weather was really not nice, windy, cold, wet, raining. Not expecting a lot really, you know. After having like 7 fish already by Tuesday night, I woke up to the rod going off again and had a £26.8. Moving on to Thursday morning, I got rudely awakened at 5:15 with another take on the left hand rod, and that was a 43.10 mirror, which I was really pleased about with that. Nice to have a 40 plus out of many 30s that we caught this week. Yesterday morning, after that, 10 o'clock, I had a 35.6 mirror, and since then it's gone fairly quiet. But for saying the action that we've been having since Monday to up until mid-morning yesterday, it's been phenomenal. It's been brilliant. Up to now, I believe there's 23 fish been out, 20 fish over £30, 7 of which are over 40. So I mean, you know, there's been 17 fish over £35 out. It's been a fantastic week's fishing. Pretty much we've all been using the Key Bait Solutions ASM. A couple of lads have been mixing it up with a few other different brands of bait, and there's more and more people as well also trying to jump on the trips that I've been doing and what I've been arranging with RH Fisheries, but there's a bit of a queue going on.
I haven't got a clue yet.
Oh no, it's a babby.
They all count.
Oh, an old friend. Yeah, it's the old linear.
How big's that normally?
22, 23.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, look at the toe. Fins immaculate.
Good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Acton fish. Right, I can do the honest tone.
Well down.
Go on then.
18.6, 18.8.
18.6. Still a nice fish.
18.6, yeah.
Lovely. I think this is one of the old original Shadwell Lake fish. Lovely old linear, big plated scales on it. This is the 6th fish of the trip. The other fish were I've had 3 38s, a 35 and a 32 over the last 3 days. So bait's doing the wonders as normal. So yeah, all good. What a fucking battle. Oh my God. PB common.
No.
Yeah.
You reckon?
PB common, Shag. I don't know. Might be car crash, I don't know. That's my personal best common. 36.4. 36.4. Ready?
Yeah.
36.4. Now, I've just put one of the most stunning old fish out of Acton back, £18.6 mirror. I've just got out of the water from putting some bait in because my other rod's just rattled off, and I've just caught this £36.4 common. They call it the car crash common. It's actually my PB common for the UK. So here she is, and here she is, all £36.4 car crash common. And this was actually my PB UK common, and I caught it a few years ago. Absolutely brilliant fish. There we go. Right, I'll just turn around. There you go. Taken on a rig that I developed on Acton a few years ago. I've lost one fish on it in the last 3 years. Works really well. Caught it on a ASM 18mm cork pop-up. That's probably had about 100 free offerings around it. Rod's been out about 3 hours, and she's just rattled off just after I caught the 18.6. Cracking fish. like that there. I've got a load of weed on my line. See around the skin. It's going to be up there. Landing that pole. Grab me that landing pole, see. Just don't be steady. That's alright, I've got it. Oh, yeah, done it. How big? 43 10.
Oh my, that's really well done.
I think it's the otted mirror. Right, let's just see if we can get a nice lift for a photo. There we go. Oh, there we go. 43 pound of Acton Burnell monsters. Really pleased with that. One of the fish that I've been after for a long time. So yeah. I'm really pleased with that. Beast. That was took on the Key Bait Solutions ASM again, the Old Faithful. On a 16mm cork pop-up. It's fished it about 70 yards out. I've got about a kilo of bait around it. We sat baiting this area for the last few days. And with no joy, and all of a sudden, bingo, we've just got this beast. There we go, Acton Burnell's monster.
fantastic.
My name's Craig Mackwell, the Daddy Mac, now on the carp fishing circuit. I'm at Acton Burnell on open access, just outside Shrewsbury. It's one of our age fisheries waters. It's Tuesday. We got down here on Saturday, we did the draw. I come out 4th out of 6, opted for first bait because the conditions were quite good, warm, flat calm. I decided not to fish on Saturday. I baited up quite heavily. We're probably about 5 kilo of mainline cell and hybriding. Quite close on the spots, set everything up. Come round, light leads on, just flicked out, a couple of baits over each rod, and 3 o'clock in the afternoon the left hand rod screamed off, and I had a 33-pound mirror, which was over the moon. We've only been in the swim for like a couple of hours, and then on the evening put the rods out, and 1:30 of the morning, 1:45, I had an absolute flying tech on the left hand rod again, and that resulted in an epic battle that saw me out in the water, up to my waist, water coming over the chest, you name it, and I managed to get one of the A-listers called the Atwell male that you'll see on the stills. It's a male fish, and I had that at 42.8 £, so I was absolutely buzzing. And then the following day, the Monday, had nothing. Conditions changed, it went stormy, the wind picked up, not really conditions for a 3-foot bait as this is, and I still plugged on. I decided to reel the rods in for a while, put some more bait in, put them out of the night, and 6 o'clock this morning I had a tech, and that was a 37.2, and I've just gone a bit further with that because of the conditions, and just fishing slightly deeper water, just the back of the weed beds, so I was well happy with that. It's not one that I've had from here before, a real scaly fish, beautiful fish. And then I put the rod back out, and the same rod was away again around about 11 o'clock this morning, and that was a 33.2 mirror, and that sums up the session so far really. They're not hearing any numbers at the minute, but the odd fish is coming in close, so I've got a rod just 10 yards off the main, that's what I'm talking, quite quiet. But yeah, it's fishing quite well, to be honest. There's been quite a few fish from all around the lake. To be honest, I've got 2 spots going now, so they'll stop. And I've had 4 fish off 2 spots. So my right hand rod, it's a bit of a rama. I've seen fish this morning on an area that if I don't see anything, I should put it out there tonight. That's probably at around 60 yards range. Again, it's going into the deeper waters, slightly to the right of the swim. No one's in steps at the minute, so I'm able to fish that area. But I was up at 3:30, and they were boshing big time, and there's some big fish. And then as the morning progressed, it was 6 AM, I had the tech, which my long range rod, which was about 30 yards to the left of where they were showing, that was the one that went, and I think they just moved just into the shallows, and they just, because I put a lot of bait out last night, put around about 300 mainline cell, mainline hybrid out there, and I picked it up on the hybrid. Well, at the minute all we've caught is male fish, and that's unusual for here, but the average weight's been good of the males. I mean, we've got quite a few fish over 37 pound, which is unusual in itself. If the females turn up, looking back over the last couple of weeks, there was no 40s out last week, there was only 37s, it was the biggest. The week before there was 2 low 40s, again male fish. So what I think's happened is the females are on the verge of spawning. They're not really fed, but they haven't fed for 3 weeks. So they've got to feed at some point. We've got some low pressure coming in. It's going to knock it completely on the head with the spawning. So maybe the big girls are going to feed. I think the lads down the bottom are going to have more of a chance over the next couple of days, if I'm honest. At Pot Bed or Sandy Point. May even drop tomorrow for a couple of hours into Steps, which is a swim next door, just to give me more of a chance. Now, if the big girl come out, you've got some the Otted mirror. that could potentially be anywhere around the 48 pound mark, potentially touching 50, who knows, with a bit of spawn. You've got tattletale, I've had that when I was on the syndicate here a couple of years ago, 47.4, again that could be around that mark, 47, 48s. And you've got creases which fluctuates, that goes anything from 42 to 48 I believe. But there's also several fish over the 45 pound mark that don't come out very often, which is the mat eyes fish, and I think one that's been like the mat eyes fish, and I think Jace and Ingley had it last year on Open Access, and I think they've called it Lord Lucan, and that's a stunning fish. That's around about the 45 pound mark as well.
You'll have it ball up on your margin.
He's an old friend.
That's a good fish, that is.
Come on, baby. Come on. Up to the spreader block. Spreader block. Thank you. You're in.
Nice one, Jace. Don't get much better than this, does it, man?
No. $35.6. There you go. Here goes second
Scales
fish.
in the back. Can you move the scales?
Second fish of the morning. Off the same spot I've just took the 43.10 from. ASM pop up, exactly the same spot. 35.6.
What's it, 35%?
35.6. Go on.
Gone away alright, didn't you?
Yeah, it's gone fine. $26.8. Well, this is just rattled off a bit unexpectedly. We just had a lot of rain come in and air temperatures dropped quite a bit. Surprisingly enough, I've just took this off a shallow spot just up the bay there, and it's I think it's one of the old Acton residents, the fully scaled. I believe there's two in here, and this is the bigger one of the two at 26.8. So nice to see the old one still coming out. There you go. Lovely fish. There you go, 26.5, fully scaled on the, I took it on the ASM on a pop up. There we go. There she goes.
My name's Martin Warren, alias Nash Gnome. I'm fishing on the Oak peg, which is quite a nice peg, and it's like got a good view of the lake. I've got one spot at like 40 yards and the other two like at 60. well 60, 50 stroke. I've had a run on 2 rods and lost the fish, but last night I was fortunate and landed a very nice 23-pound mirror. I just struggled a bit, I think mainly with my hook links, so I lengthened them like with a bit of help from Jason, which is like he's been really helpful towards me and to get me to catch a fish, which I'm really grateful about. Yeah, but there's like clear patches that I've seemed to find. There's a bit of a, on my long rod there's a bit of a weed bed before it, because when I pull back I pull into the weed, but there's nothing where it's landing. Apart from that, it's, you know, it's like, it's very shallow. I think it's only like 3.5, 4 foot. So I mean, I wasn't fortunate when the draw come out. I was last in the draw, but I ended up fishing this swim because I thought it was like out of the rest of them, it was the better one. I mean, it's been the same this time. You've got Craig to the right and Jason to the left, which they've really done well. And Craig's had some monsters, hasn't he? To be honest, I would just be happy if I could get a personal best, and my personal best is 33 pounds. So the run in here is a good chance of it. What size it is?
That's a stunner.
I don't. It might go 30, but I don't.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's a lovely fish, mate, that is.
It's not bad for a first Acton fish, is it?
Right. Well done, mate.
I'm chuffed. Didn't expect it at night though.
Well,
it was a bit of a shock to the system, that was. I was just getting off.
23.
I didn't think it was that big.
23. Now 4 divisions. 23-2.
23-2? That's
yeah.
okay.
Okay. You've had one, mate.
Yeah, I think I'll have another.
Yes, I think you will.
I've been baiting a spot up across near where Jason is, towards the oak, about 40 yards out. And it came to that. ASM pop up. About 40 baits round it. I'll turn around now. Tried a few different type rigs. Increase the length of my hook link. That'll do them, won't it?
Yep. Well done, mate.
Yeah. Then back in and get the rod back in. Try and get it made. If it'll let me. Usually when they sniff the water, they're away, ain't they?
Yeah.
That's what's behaving a bit.
Fantastic. Okay,
I'll let her go. They'll be alright, mate. Thank you. Off you go, babe.
I'm Jimmy. Bit of a long story how I turned up here, but it was a last minute spur of the moment. Never been here before, never fished it. Bit of an adventure. Drove down the track, come through the trees. Absolutely stunning. Stunning lake. I knew there'd been a lot of fish out. I'd spoke to Jay and Steve in the week, and I knew where they were coming out, but there was only really 2 pegs I could dive in that wouldn't stitch anybody else up, so I went in steps. I know I've seen them roll and show to the left. There's about 80 yards between me and the next guy, who's had 340s, I believe, up to 48. So I'm nowhere near his water. I can get a rig down there, no problem. I got one a little bit further out where it's a little deeper and the silt's a little rougher, and then I've got one on a going spot Steve put us on, which is about halfway across, a little bit firmer, so I'm covering all the bases on that. My sort of style of fishing is boilie. I'm a boilie angler only. Last year on my own syndicate I had every single fish. I was on a fly and I had every single fish I had on the same rig. It's just a reliable rig. It's one I use all the time, and I tend to have a look, see where the fish are moving. It's always hard when you turn up at the last minute and you don't really know how it's going to pan out. You know nothing about the lake, so
my sort of approach, because I do quick overnighters, is to turn up with a few kilo of boilie, look where they're moving, have a look at them, couple of casts per rod, see if I can get a different drop on each cast, so it'll give me an idea if I'm in a gully with deep silt or I'm halfway up a shelf or something like that, and then put a bit of bait around it basically. All season mix, that's from Key Bait Solutions. 18 millers as free offerings. Reasonably heavy today, wasn't so much last night, but I put a bit out today. And a 15 mil pop-up, natural coloured, not a white or anything like that. It's just the natural coloured same thing. I think that the smaller hook bait tends to go. I know a lot of people use like an 18 miller on the hook and then bait up with 15s, but I think the other way round. You can heavily glug the pop-ups as well, and they'll dry out in a couple of days. They'll dry out, and it looks a little bit like you've lost a bit of the smell, but if you drop it in a glass of water in your kitchen and leave it overnight, your missus will kill you in the morning because it will stink. As soon as it's wet, the smell comes back out again, and a lot of it's gone in here. I'm not going to go against the grain with anything. A lot of it goes in, so I came with 2 nights, 5 kilo. I think I've got 1.5 kilos left now. Didn't put a lot out last night, but because I've got another night midday today, I've got about 1 kilo over each rod, spread in a wide area as well to get them moving around, because of boilie angling only. You want them to pick up a bait and move to pick up another bait. I've noticed the fish are coming more this way. They're starting to move up and down the middle of the lake. Surprisingly close, to be honest, considering how shallow it is. And there's a lot of pressure on here, so it surprised me that they came in so close, but they are getting down this end of the lake now. It's close to spawning, so they're going to be hungry. You know, they're going to be hungry and they're going to move around a bit more. They're starting to probably pair up and move in groups, so if they keep moving over here and the wind keeps doing this, we should be alright. I have, because the wind's changed and they're moving over here now, I have very, very lightly glazed the baits with hemp oil, just to give me an indication that if they do move on here, if they do move on the bait, I get a big flat spot and I can get my waders on ready, because I've had to put my rods in the water so I can get around the corner of the trees.
Just had this tech, massive battle, mammoth, half hour, and just had this scraper 40. Absolute quality fish. Absolute beast, melting all over the mat. So, absolutely well happy with this. £40 2 ounce. It was that short rod I told you about, Steve. Now more than 15 yards out, and it absolutely ripped off. Just a single white cell pop-up on a multi-rig. Done the business. The frame of that beast. Absolutely epic male. There she goes. She's going to be a recognisable fish. See colours. On this absolute corker, 42.5. This is definitely a known fish. Real lovely colours. Absolute corker. On a white hybrid this time. Doing the dough. This is some fishing. 6-1 of the session, third 40. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's get it on.
Fantastic.
Looks like the slope head, this does. Look at that for a fish. That is some fish, eh? And she's starting to waddle. Happy days! Oh. Good morning, is it, or still? Yeah, just about. Just to catch up what's been going on. It's now Thursday morning. I'm going to take you back to early hours of Wednesday morning. I had a tech at round about midnight or just after, and landed a £40 4-ounce mirror, which I was over the moon with. That was my second 40 of the trip. And Steve come round and took pictures and did a video. Great stuff. We slipped her back, put the rod back out on the same spot. Only fishing out, I don't know, 20 yards maximum, maybe 15 yards. So it was nice and easy to get back out there. Had a cup of tea, watched when Steve had gone, cup of tea, got back in the sack. Didn't seem like I'd been there for 10 minutes. And the same rod was away again. Absolute one-toner, ripped off. This was a different animal altogether. Hooked into the fish. Its first run went on a 60-yard run out to the right. Jumped in, fully clothed, as you normally do in this peg because it's a sheller. Got the net, waded out, come in front of me, then it kited down to the left, down towards the elk, and to cut a long story short, a 45-minute epic battle resulted in another 40, a mirror known as the Slope, one I've been after for many years. When I was on the syndicate, 3 years I was on the syndicate after it, never caught it. 42.8, a little bit down in weight, its top weight's 45 pound, but 42.8 I was absolutely buzzing. As you can imagine, this had made my trip. I'd had 3 40s, 6 fish, the rest 30, so you really couldn't fault it. And then I wasn't expecting any more. This morning I was on the phone to the missus. She gets up at 5:30 to take the kids to school, and I told her, I said, it looks dead out there, it's been a real cold night, I'm fishing in 3 foot of water. I said I just didn't fancy. Put the phone down to her. Within 10 minutes, middle rod pulls up ever so slowly, beep beep beep, just elds at the top, strike into it, and I'm obviously into another good fish. Completely different fight altogether, this fish. Just held the bottom, I could see out there, it's flat calm. The fizzes was coming up as it was coming along on the bottom, disturbing all the silt. And to be honest, it come in a relative short amount of time, 5 minutes, something like that. And I got it to the net, netted the first time, didn't really think of it, the silt where I'd waded out was all billowing. And I just left it to lay in the net. Shouted Steve come round, got everything ready, and I cut the line and brought the net down, rolled the net down, and as I went to lift her, I suddenly said to Steve, this is a lump. And it suddenly began to dawn on me just what fish we'd got in the net. As I hoisted her out of the water, I knew it was something very, very special. We took her up the bank, put her on the mat, and opened the net, and I was completely blown away. It was the Acton mirror, and we put her on the scales. I was a gibberish wreck. We had to use the bar because she was that heavy, the needle was everywhere, and we settled on the score at 48.5 pound and a new PB and one very, very happy angler. Thanks to Steve for doing the filming and the pictures, they're absolutely amazing. And yeah, it was a bit surreal. Incredible beast, as you'll see. We slipped her back, I took some water shots, and to be honest, I stood here in my shorts about 7 o'clock in the morning and in a trance, couldn't give a care for the world. And I guess that's why we all carp fish, because it's really only carp fishing that can do this to me. Oh man, this is some fish. Oh. It was looking dead. I said to Jace I might move tonight, but the rod's gone off in the first bay, and I'm holding my new PB, 48.5 pound. Come on, you Acton beast! Absolutely medal. This is why we go carp fishing. I never thought I'd come here and beat my PB at 47.12 that I had from here to Tatchtail, but here you go, 48.8 of absolute monster carp. Come on! Okay, baby. One of the fat females. We waited all week for them to come on the feed. Cold night last night, and they've come on the feed. Jason had a 43, I believe. And here we are with a 48.5 pound chunk. Happy days. .48.8, new PB. That's why I'm freezing in the water. Right. Lord Lucan, 44.4 Jace.
Yeah.
Again, just in the shallows, 20 yards out, rod ripped off. It started to show. And to be fair, I did think I was going to have a technique on the middle rod, and the left hand rod that went absolutely out of the moon with this fish. Okay, 540s that is. .44.4 Lord Lucan, one of the hardest fish in the lake to catch, and probably one of the most prettiest. I never dreamt I could have this one, but I've gone and done it. 5th 40 of the session, get in. She's away. Happy days. Okay, so as you've just seen, I've just put a very special fish back. I've just found Alex, the bailiff. He's been after it for a while, he loves that fish. Sorry Alex, I've had to go and do it, mate. No, what a special fish. Absolute lungfish, beast of a battle. I was standing by the rods, looking at the bobbins because I've got fish showing over the long range spot. And all of a sudden the left hand rod, the short rod that ain't gone since day one, the bobbin smashed to the top, rod's ripped round, and I've seen an explosion on the surface and a bow wave out the bay, and I'm attached to this fish. Luckily Jace was down the bottom, it had gone through a load of weed. Jace put the waders on, I went in fully dressed, that's why I'm dressed in such bright colours, because I'm running out of clothes. Jace come up, got in the waders, come and help me. We've got loads of weed on the line, I had no control over this fish. See a big massive tail flapping out about 30 yards away from us, and then Jace says the inevitable words, it's Lord Lucan, it's the Lucan fish. Now I know this fish is a special fish. All of a sudden I've got no control over it, my heart's in my mouth, I'm thinking I wish you hadn't said bloody anything. But he waded out to the weed, fair play to Jace, got the weed off my line. Up it popped and he netted it first time for me, and he said, I'm not going to show it till we get to the bank. I said, is it a nice fish? He says it's a stunner. When we got it in and I looked at it, you know, I was just blown away. You know, it is one of the prettiest fish in the lake, if not the prettiest fish in the lake. And you know, what can I say? 540s in a session in England. It's, you know, it's ridiculous. My last 4 bites have been over £40. You know, and I really can never ever see me repeating this ever. It just don't happen to your average Joe. You know, but happy days. Come on, Acton.